Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Hour of Power Read Aloud. So, I have a book today called Everybody Cooks Rice. I'm going to read this aloud to you. Look at that rice cooker. I have a rice cooker, but it looks different than that one. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Everybody cooks rice. My stomach was grumbling. Mom was cooking dinner, and I couldn't wait to sit down and eat. Carrie, will you go out and find Anthony? Dinner is almost ready. Mom is always asking me to look for Anthony. He's my little brother, and he's such a moocher. If he's not playing ball or hopscotch, he's at a neighbor's house tasting their dinner. I walked outside and looked up and down the street. I couldn't see Anthony anywhere, so I went over to Mrs. Darlington's house. Anthony and I call her Mrs. D. She's our next door neighbor. Mr. and Mrs. D are from Barbados. It was Thursday, so their grandchildren, Sean and Stephanie, were over having their favorite dinner, black-eyed peas and rice. At the front door, I could smell fried onions and bacon. It made my mouth water. I ate a small cup of rice and black-eyed peas while Mr. D told stories about Barbados. People swim there and go fishing, even in December. Suddenly, I remembered I was supposed to be looking for Anthony, so I asked if anyone had seen him. Sean said he'd seen Anthony going into the Diaz's house. I went there next. When I walked into the kitchen, my friend Fendra Diaz and her little brother, Tito, were cooking dinner because their mom was working late. Tito was telling Fendra that she uses too much spice. Fendra said Tito was checking the pot too often, so the rice and pigeon peas would never cook. Their teenage brother Jose told them to pipe down. He wanted to watch TV. I looked in the pot to see what was cooking. The rice was bright yellow. Fendra told me that her grandmother in Puerto Rico had taught her how to cook with turmeric. Turmeric makes rice yellow. Tito gave me a taste from the cooking spoon. Boy, was it delicious. Then I asked if anyone had seen Anthony. Fendra said Anthony had been there to taste their dinner, but had left to visit Dong. So I went across the street to Dong's house. Dong Tran came from Vietnam 5 years ago with his whole family, aunts, uncles, cousins, and all. Dong's older sister Tam answered the door. Mr. and Mrs. Tran work late every day, so everyone else takes turns making dinner. It was Tam's turn to cook. She was busy making the garlicky fishy sauce called nuoc cham. She let me try it on some rice. It was sweet and salty and sour. It tasted interesting. Later, when Mrs. Tran gets home, she'll make fried rice with peas. Then when Mr. Tran gets home, everyone will sit down and eat together. When I asked if anyone had seen my brother, Dong said Anthony had been helping Mrs. Hua and Mei Li with their groceries. The Huas live on the corner, so I started to walk up the street. Carrie, wait up, someone called. It was my friend Rajit. He was carrying 3 round metal boxes all clipped together. Something inside smelled delicious, so I asked him what it was. Rajit said his parents were working at their video and gift shop, so he was bringing them leftovers in a tiffin carrier. There was a big party at the Karish Murler's house that last weekend, so Rajit's mother cooked a fancy, colorful Indian dish called biryani. It's made with peas, cashews, raisins, and lots of spices, and a special kind of rice called basmati rice. I had tasted biryani at Rajit's house the last time I went out looking for Anthony. When I told Rajit that I was looking for my brother again, he said Anthony and Mei Li were blowing bubbles out a window of the Hua's house. The Huas came from China a year ago. Mrs. Hua is just learning how to speak English. We smile at each other a lot. Mrs. Hua was steaming white rice for her family and the boarder who lived in the back room. She was also making tofu and vegetables in the wok. That's a big pan with a round bottom. Mrs. Hua always makes me sit down and eat something when I come over. Oh, and look at that's that's a wok that we saw earlier. W-O-K instead of W-A-K. Not this kind of wok, but a cooking wok. Everyone at the Hua's house uses chopsticks. Mei Li, who is only 3.5 years old, can even pick up a single grain of rice with her chopsticks. Mei Li laughed at me when I tried using chopsticks and dropped some vegetables. She said Anthony was bye-bye, so I decided to try our backyard neighbors, the Blues. The Blues are from Haiti. Their cat just had kittens, so Anthony wanders over there a lot. Mrs. Blue teaches English at the community center. We get to call her Madame Blue. Madame Blue speaks 3 languages: French, English, and Creole. When I walked in, Madame Blue was making a Creole-style Haitian dinner. It had hot peppers, chives, red beans, and you guessed it, rice. Monsieur Blue, who works 2 jobs so he won't get home till late, Madame Blue says the pot will stay on the stove and the rice will get tastier and spicier. Adeline and Jean-Marie Blue came home for dinner on their break from their after-school jobs at the grocery store. They helped themselves to bowls of rice and beans from the pot and gave some to me. I thought my mouth was on fire. Jean-Marie teased me when I gulped some water. It was getting late and I still hadn't found Anthony. Adeline said she'd seen him with a kitten in his arms climbing the fence to our yard. I said thanks and au revoir, which means goodbye. That means goodbye, and hurried home. When I walked into the house, Anthony was showing the kitten to our baby sister, Anna. He was explaining to Mom that he was only borrowing the kitten. Mom was putting dinner on the table. Her grandmother from northern Italy taught our grandmother, who taught Mom how to cook risi e bisi, rice with green peas. Mom puts butter, grated cheese, and some nutmeg on it. It smells so good. But my stomach wasn't grumbling anymore. I told Mom that I was too full to eat. Anthony said he wanted to eat his dinner even though he was full because he loves rice, and that afternoon he found out that everybody cooks rice. Okay, and there are some really fun rice recipes from all the different houses that I'm going to put on the website. And it would be a wonderful activity for you to cook some rice with your family. And it will become a STEM activity that includes math if you help with the measuring. So if you help with the measuring, that's a wonderful way to talk about numbers and capacity, which is how much is in like a cup, and also maybe some fractions. So it would be a wonderful thing. And if you write down what you cooked and take a picture of what you cooked and send it to my email, I will make sure that you get a prize. So everybody cooks rice, and this is a story about no matter where you are in the world, almost every different culture uses rice as part of their cuisine or part of their diet. So that's this story. Remember, if you do the STEM project of doing a cooking activity and you help with the measurement and the stirring, make sure a grown-up's doing the actual cooking part. But if you send a picture of you guys doing that to my email, which you can find on the Hour of Power website, I will send you a prize. I'll talk to you later. Bye, friends. See you next time.